The drama around the Amazing Digital Circus episode 5 and the Gaslight District is getting worse. I can't believe I have to say this, but it seems like things are really getting out of hand. gooseworx recently had some tweets like, every time someone asks when TADC episode 5 is coming out on a Gaslight District post, I will intentionally delay it for another 5 months. I'll kill any of you that spam TADC episode 5 when on any Gaslight related things when it gets closer to the release. I'm trying not to overhype it, but it just really has that brutal edge and artistic flair that I love to death. Nick is cool. I think we should start a discourse in all public schools that Digital Circus is a girls' show and the Gaslight District is a boys' show. I think this would open up many new avenues for previously obsolete bullying practices. The market would thrive. And then most recently she tweeted, "No, Digital Circus is not cancelled, now shut up." So yeah, that's not someone who's calmly sipping tea and scrolling Twitter. That's someone who's clearly under a mountain of pressure, and honestly it's not hard to see why. The Gaslight District pilot came out last Friday and people went wild. Nick and the team worked on this show for almost 3 years before they released the pilot, and all the care that went into carefully crafting every detail really shows in the quality. And yet, instead of just enjoying this new project, or at least being open to it, a big chunk of the TADC fandom jumped straight into panic mode. Comment sections got flooded, timelines were overtaken by "where is episode 5" spam, and the same cycle we saw during the Murder Drones era started all over again. Just remember back how it was back then. Of course, Glitch was pushing Murder Drones hard, and just as it started picking up steam, the Digital Circus pilot dropped like a bomb. It exploded in popularity, and naturally Glitch shifted their focus toward promoting that. And what happened is that Murder Drones fans felt abandoned. People got mad. They accused Glitch of ditching their first big project, and now it's like the reverse. The Gaslight District is getting its spotlight and Digital Circus fans are acting like they've been betrayed. And just imagine how embarrassed gooseworx must feel when she sees that her show's fandom is acting this immature, fighting against Glitch releasing new shows and demanding that they only focus on the Amazing Digital Circus. This is not how things go. So the pressure must be extra big on gooseworx, both by feeling responsible for the fandom and also based on what she shared recently. She posted some pretty raw thoughts on Bluesky, but later decided to delete these. But it went like, "I think I might be burning out, boys. The creative energy I need to be giving this episode just isn't there right now, and I can't focus at all. I would take a break, but I'm already so far behind that I'm blocking entire departments. Kind of failing the team right now, and that's stressing me out. Taking a break is not an option." Now, this certainly doesn't feel like the kind of thing you write if you're just a little tired. That's full-on exhaustion and burnout. And to delete them after posting probably means she regretted being that open or didn't want the fandom to freak out more than they already were. But I guess it's too late for that now. So there are multiple things going south right now, and if one of those is the showrunner's mental health, that's no fun. But this also gives us a more real explanation about the whole situation and delay, which isn't exactly a delay since episode 5's release date was never announced, so it couldn't possibly have gotten delayed. And if you think about it, we got episode 4 in December 2024, which was only 4 months ago. And 4 months for animation is not long at all. Here's the thing though, a lot of fans got their hopes up because episode 4 of TADC dropped quickly, just 2 months after episode 3. And usually that's not typical for animated shows, especially indie ones, but it built a lot of momentum. 2 months between episodes is almost unheard of in the animation world, especially when you consider how much work goes into each episode of a show like the Amazing Digital Circus. The animation is highly detailed, and the writing, voice acting, and sound design all demand significant time and effort. But somehow Glitch managed to pull it off, and episode 4 felt like a reward for the patience we'd shown up until that point. That quick release caused a ripple effect within the fanbase though. People got excited, thinking that Glitch had figured out how to crank out episodes faster and faster. It raised expectations. We started thinking, hey, if they did it once, they could probably keep doing it. Maybe they would ramp up production, bring in more hands, and get episode 5 out even faster than we anticipated. And that sense of momentum is powerful, and it was easy to see why fans assumed the pace would continue. After all, a show that explodes like like the Amazing Digital Circus did, with so much hype behind it, should be capitalizing on that momentum, right? If Glitch could meet that demand quickly, they could build even more excitement and ride that wave to greater success. But here's the reality check. They're not a giant studio with endless resources. They've got a small, hardworking team. There are only so many hours in the day, and with multiple projects on the go, it's just not feasible to keep up that pace. And this is where things start to shift. The hype cycle isn't something that you can just keep churning away indefinitely. In fact, this break could actually be a good thing for the Amazing Digital Circus in the long run. Sure, it's frustrating to wait, especially when episode 4 came out so quickly, but sometimes a little breathing room can make all the difference. It gives the team a chance to work on the details, polish the story, and ensure that the final product truly lives up to the show's potential. Sometimes when things move too quickly, you can end up sacrificing quality just to meet demand, and that's not something we want for this show. But there's also something else to consider here. If you look at Murder Drones, it really highlights the difference between quick releases and careful crafting. Some episodes of Murder Drones took up to a year to release. So the Amazing Digital Circus fans were definitely spoiled with the faster turnaround between episodes 3 and 4, but we need to recognize that the production pace wasn't the standard. But the comparison between these two projects really puts things into perspective. But as much as the waiting sucks, this delay could actually be what the Amazing Digital Circus needs to build its legacy. The show has already established a loyal and passionate fandom, and those fans are going to be here when episode 5 finally drops, no matter how long it takes. And you know what? The fact that the Amazing Digital Circus has such a dedicated fan base is proof of the show's potential to stand the test of time. The fandom is not just here for the next episode, they are here for the long haul. And gooseworx and the rest of the team have put so much energy into making the Amazing Digital Circus what it is. And it's a labor of love. If the fandom really cares about the quality of the show, they need to give gooseworx and the team the time and space they need to get it right. We all know that animation takes time, and it's not something that can be rushed, especially when you're crafting something this unique. The show's success isn't measured by how quickly the episodes are released. It's measured by how good they are, by how much they resonate with the audience. And I feel like some of the frustration comes from the newer or younger fans who don't fully understand the realities of animation production. To them, waiting for a few months feels like forever. They are used to the fast-paced nature of the internet, everything is expected now. But animation isn't like that. It takes time to create something truly special. So the fans who understand this are the ones who are going to stick around. But ultimately, this situation is messy. There's a lot of pressure on Glitch. The fandom is divided. gooseworx is clearly dealing with burnout. And you know what? That's the reality of indie animation. It's not about perfection. It's about creativity, risks, and building something that resonates with people. The delay, however frustrating, might be the best thing for the show. It's a chance for the team to catch their breath, refine their work, and make sure that episode 5 lives up to the legacy of the first 4. So let's embrace that patience, give the team the support they need, and remember, good things come to those who wait. Until then, check out the Gaslight District's pilot if you haven't yet. But anyway, that's all I've got for now. Let me know what you think about the whole situation down in the comments. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.